It's Fox and Friends.
Good morning.
John Edwards has admitted to having an affair with filmmaker Rial Hunter. But is he the father of the baby? Joining us right now is National Enquirer senior reporter Alexander Hitchen. Good morning to you, Alexander.
Hi, Steve.
Now, you're a famous guy because you're the guy who confronted Edwards in the stairwell of that Los Angeles hotel a couple of weeks ago. How'd you do that?
It was a seven-man team. A lot of people worked very hard on the story. By the end of the day, I think we hadn't slept for 36 hours.
So 2:45 in the morning, Edwards leaves his hotel room, and you're walking behind him. He probably just thought it was somebody else leaving. And then in the stairwell, where he was trying to get out of the hotel, you caught up with him.
That's right. That's right. We followed him through this lower lobby, so he would be able to avoid the main area of the hotel. And I said to him, Mr. Edwards, Alexander Hitchen from the National Enquirer, perhaps could you comment on why you were seeing your mistress, Rial Hunter, tonight and your love child?
Okay, that's going to get his attention. What was his reaction?
Pure panic. He went as white as a sheet. He refused to comment and tried to continue going up the stairs. Now, I wasn't obstructing him at all, but he saw a colleague of mine at the top of the stairs turn tail and hot-footed it into a restroom, a very large restroom for a restaurant next door.
And then, so he's in there, he's talking on his cell phone or something like that. Next thing you know, hotel security comes and takes you out, but you were a guest of the hotel and he was not.
Precisely as I pointed out to the security guards. It was the most surreal experience. He was escorted by a phalanx of 6 security guards who became his security detail.
Okay. Then you saw him on ABC with Bob Woodward, and he answered a bunch of questions. And he wasn't telling the truth, was he?
Well, you know, the story that he has been saying is being picked apart by many colleagues in the media.
All right. I know right now what you're working on you cannot reveal, but it does involve the money trail because she's getting paid a bunch of money each month. The guy who says he's the baby daddy is getting paid a lot of money.
Right.
And you're going to have some big information on that next Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. There's been some suggestion that John Edwards was set up. Somebody called you and said, okay, we've got... he is going to be in one room at this hotel, and the baby is going to be in the next room with a friend. Somebody set him up?
No. I mean, the information has been coming through to us for the last 10 months when we first broke the story. We have set up a great deal of good contacts, and we were just told that he was going to be turning up.
Why, according to your information, why is Elizabeth Edwards staying with him?
Because she loves him. I mean, she's a lovely lady, devoted wife. I think it's heartbreaking to see what she's going through.
Sure. There's a story out today that says the reason she stayed with him during the campaign was she didn't want his legacy sullied when she died and left with those 2 kids.
I know. I mean, it's tragic, especially when you think of the children as well.
National Enquirer reporting that despite what Edwards has said, they did have a relationship at the time she became pregnant.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
So John Edwards, that's a flat-out lie.
I think Mr. Edwards really needs to be careful what he's been saying publicly.
Also, you know, I'd like to ask you about the money thing, but I know you can't let us know right now.
But if you do read the Enquirer next week.
Absolutely. Gretchen asked a great question as she was going off the set. She said, why do you think John Edwards has not told the truth?
I mean, it is a great question. Why hasn't he told the truth? I don't know. I mean, he's an extremely competent lawyer. He knows that it's lies that start pulling apart.
But now we know from papers like yours and others that the relationship did start earlier and continued on way past when he said it ended.
That's right. That's right. I really think he needs to be careful what he's been saying and clarify things.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A lot of the mainstream media just poo-pooed your report, but you were absolutely right.
Well, I know we're talking on Fox at the moment, but chops to them because the day after we got Mr. Edwards, it was Fox News that was the first to independently verify what we were talking about.
Absolutely.
So Good to them too.
Hey, thanks for the tip.
Pleasure.
All right, Alexander Hitchen. We're going to be reading on Wednesday to find out he's following the money trail.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, money is green, and in the green room right now, we've got those two.
And speaking of money.